Welcome to the Fuller Tracy Money Audio Commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording, and it is 3:20 p.m. That is Central Time, and today is November 12th. Well, today we had some big moves in oil, and West Texas Intermediate was down $2.65, and it's trading on the front month versus the next month uh, at a mild contango, and that's quite a change from what we've had recently. Then gold prices were up in a dynamic manner, silver up even more, and briefly touching a new all-time high on the spot. So that's a pretty profound move. Then the stock market was in positive territory. The Dow Jones Industrial Average hit a new all-time high. The Nasdaq spent most of the day in negative territory, but trimmed the decline by the end of the day. Canada's market was up over 1.3%, whereas Mexico's was down 1.7%. The majority of bank shares internationally were up today and up in a big way. So, for example, Goldman Sachs broke out in the upside. That's the largest share in the Dow, and that's a good reason for why it has been outperforming. The Eurostoxx banks sector was also in positive territory, and that helped to lift the broad market in Europe as well. Then in Asia this morning, the Nikkei was up about 0.4%, still holding above the psychological 50,000 level. And then the Hang Seng in China, or in Hong Kong, was up 0.85%. What I thought was interesting today is that you had a pretty strong performance in Hong Kong shares, regardless of whether it was the Hang Seng or the China Enterprises Index. But then you had weakness in Alibaba and in Baidu. And we've seen that Chinese senior officials have been making very positive statements about the need to innovate, the need for technological productivity gains, and that it's an important part of the economy, and that technological innovation is also part of the great power competition, and that China needs to be in a dominant position. But we also saw that that wasn't particularly something that investors were paying attention to. Then what we also saw in here today is that uh, even though we have a lot of people talking about the K-shaped economy, we are starting to see that some of the most oversold of the old world or traditional instruments are starting to find support. That is